Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Sit back, relax. We're going to talk about one of the biggest gaming announcements in years, and I'm absolutely over the moon to be able to talk about this. It's a kind of like a culmination of everything I think I've ever wanted from tabletop gaming, and potentially the greatest game of all time. I don't know. Like it's really a lot for, and it's just from based on first impressions. So we're going to talk about Star Trek Into the Unknown, and I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm almost speechless. It's hard for me to actually do this video right now because I'm that excited. And dudes, you know how much I love Star Wars Armada. You know how much I love ships and ship combat. I also very, very much love Star Trek, and it looks like we're getting that kind of love letter to Star Wars Armada, but with Star Trek in mind. It's called Star Trek Into the Unknown, and it's coming out in April. So we're going to talk about this. We've got a lot of screenshots. Basically, September 8th, it was Star Trek Day, and there were a lot of announcements. Wiz Kids announced Star Trek Into the Unknown and gave a little presentation. A lot of the photos that I'm going to be showing you were, some of these are just floating around on social media, but also big thanks to the Facebook page Tales of a Tabletop Skirmisher. I did link to them on my Facebook page as well, so big thanks to them. All right, let's go ahead and look into this. So this is a skirmish game. This is a fleet kind of skirmish game. Very similar to what you would kind of see in Star Trek, battle episodes. Also, very, very similar to what you'd see in Deep Space Nine. And I think it's very fitting that it's Federation versus Dominion. You've got the Jem'Hadar, you've got the Federation, you've got a Jem'Hadar like on the box. You also have Cisco, which I think is very important to have Cisco on the box, and Jean-Luc Picard. First off, I love I love the setting. Deep Space Nine had some of the greatest fleet battles of all time. Amazing. The Dominion War is absolutely phenomenal. Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek. So I love that it's kind of embracing the Deep Space Nine by having Cisco right there in the center on the box. Beautiful. But at the same time, you've got to have Jean-Luc Picard. I mean, you've got a Galaxy class right there in the box, and so you kind of have to go with that. I know what you guys are thinking. Well, don't they already have Star Trek Attack Wing? Is this just an expansion for Attack Wing? This is a whole new game, whole new ships, all new models, designs, art, everything bigger, more detailed, beautiful. From what I'm hearing, the Enterprise, for example, which is going to be like the equivalent of a large ship for Armada. So I'm going to do a lot of Star Wars Armada references here. If you're not familiar with Star Wars Armada, it's the Star Wars kind of fleet capital ship battle game, and I talk a lot about that. It's my favorite game of all time. This one might dethrone it potentially. It looks like it's got all the necessary pieces. It looks absolutely incredible. There are a lot of photos of them kind of detailing the ships. It looks like your core set is going to come with 6 ships, one large, and then like maybe either 2 small or a medium and a small. So for example, here we've got a Galaxy class. We have it looks like the Enterprise. Looks like we've got the Stargazer. I think it's Constellation class, and then the Defiant. Which is a perfect example of a large, medium, and a small. I love that. I absolutely love that. We also have a large Dominion warship, and then I think it's two of the small Dominion warships. Looks super cool. I'm really digging this. And they're being held up by clear pegs, and they have these bases that look really interesting to me because they look like they have kind of submerged, like lowered arc lines. So it looks like you are going to have hull zones very much like you would in Armada. Presumably those will represent both shields and hull and also firing arcs. That's firing arcs. Look, Star Wars Armada has always been a game that has the firing arcs and all that stuff, but I always felt like it belonged in a Star Trek world just because, just everything about the gameplay screamed to me from day one. Like, wow, this is awesome for Star Wars, but it'd be really good for Star Trek. And I feel like that's what we're getting here. Um, Also, it looks like the Enterprise or the Galaxy class, because again, I don't know if it's being kind of launched as the Enterprise or like most Galaxy class ship or like most ship type games, you could probably run this as the Enterprise, or you could run it as the Yamato or another Galaxy class ship. And so or what was that one? Forget the name of the Galaxy class ship that went through the wormhole. It was the first one to go into the Gamma Quadrant in Deep Space Nine, and then like that Jem'Hadar ship flew into it and crashed into it and rammed it, and you know. But it looks like the saucer section actually also separates, which is like incredible. I am like, what? Oh my god, they're doing it. Like this looks. Oh my gosh, this looks incredible. This looks really, really good. Blown away with this. Just absolutely incredible. Core set, and you're gonna have commanders and cards. Now I don't know how as far as the upgrades are gonna go and the cards and stuff. Like, are you gonna have a whole lot of upgrade cards, or are you just going to have like a commander? Am I gonna put like Beverly Crusher, Geordie LaForge, Data, and Barkley, and and everybody on the Enterprise? Am I going to fill out all of those crew slots, or am I going to just pick a commander? And maybe you have different commanders, and granted, all of those characters, well, most of those characters can still serve as a commander. You could have Worf leading a fleet. You could have Geordie LaForge leading a fleet, or a small kind of strike team or whatever, because it doesn't look like it's doing the full Armada thing where you're going to have what Armada should have been, where you have like 12 ships or something like that. It looks like the core set is 3 ships. I'm sure you could probably do a little more than that. And it does kind of look like this plays on a 3x3. So there's going to be missions. Now this is something I'm going to have to see. How I feel about the missions. You've got pages. Now, granted, I love Armada. Armada always has missions too. They're just done through the objective system. And Legion, same way, except Legion has like 3 objective systems. So you've got Overture, Situation, and Complication. Apparently, like, has different phases. Maybe that's almost like the rounds. Maybe like the first round is Overture, the second round is Situation, the third round is Complication, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I've got a lot of questions, but it looks like you have a page of rules, and then you also have some cards. Now, these could be potential complications, like maybe these get shuffled, like, hey, this is the mission we're going to play, and but some random things can happen to complicate the mission. So I think that could be really cool, and I think that will offer people something other than just a standard dogfight. Now, I like the standard dogfight. I like the deathmatch, just kill everybody else. I like to play that way. And I'm sure you probably can play that way. I'm sure some missions are going to be more like that than others. But at the same time, certain ships might not have a place in this game if it's just about dogfighting. The Federation has got a lot of science vessels. They've got a lot of medical vessels. They've got a lot of exploration vessels, cargo vessels. We see a lot of stuff like that in Star Trek. So if you are having missions that could have various different types of requirements, like, hey, maybe you need to do scans. Maybe a science vessel is going to be really good for it allows you to do a lot of different things. And so this can be a really good way to get lots of different ships on the board and also have them have real meaning. Whereas a Galaxy class is probably, is going to be a large ship. It's probably going to use up like a lot of points, and so you probably won't be able to run like only Galaxy classes, because it's like a pretty versatile ship. But like an Oberth class or a Miranda class might have different, specialties, or a Nebula class. I'm sure they'll do Nebulas at some point. Those are some of my favorite ships too. But I'm over the moon with this. And so the core set is going to be Federation and Dominion. It's supposed to come out April 2024. It's MSRP at like $149, so $150. Now that's a high price point for a lot of folks, but keep in mind, prices have been going up over the past couple of years. Over the past 3 years, prices have gone up a lot. Shipping costs and all of that stuff has gone up tremendously. Most core set, now this is a 2-player core set. It looks like you're getting like 6 ships, 3 for each side, which is a really good deal. Consider that to Armada, where you got only 1 ship for the Empire and only 2. So you only got 3 ships total, and that was $100 back like 8 years ago or something like that. So there's actually, that sounds like that's a really good value to me. Granted, you did also get a couple of squadrons in the Armada pack, but they were small and unpainted. This is also painted, assembled. Or at least that's how it looks. It certainly looks painted and assembled. And they're going to have free downloadable scenarios. And then in-store organized play. That's a big deal for a lot of people, too, because that means that the game itself will sort of lean itself towards that competitive sort of nature, which you can do. And again, with scenarios, too, that means it doesn't have to always be, you don't have to always do tournaments. You can just, play scenarios with people. So it looks like it's going to cater to both crowds, which I think is really cool. I'm not really sure what this box for the preview kit is unless they're like sending these out to reviewers. Hey, Wiz Kids, wink, wink. I'd love to check this out, but I'm really excited. MSRP $149.99. We're gonna be talking a lot about this in the future. Hopefully, we can get some more information, more exciting information. Dude, this just looks cool. I'm so curious what you guys think. Are you Star Trek fans? Have I misspoken Star Trek and Star Wars and intertwined them? I've done that before in some of my videos because I talk a lot about Star Wars games, but I really love Star Trek. I've always loved Star Trek. Well, so I'd say since I was probably about 12 when I first discovered Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then started getting more involved from there. And it's been a wonderful journey for me. And so I think I like Star Trek actually a little more than I like Star Wars. So I have really, really high hopes for this game. And this is the game I've been wanting and so excited about for so long. So I don't know. Could this be like, could this be the thing that causes a whole rebranding of the channel? Am I going to become, am I going to have to change out the lightsaber nunchucks for a lightsaber, for like a batleth or something like that? What would the Star Trek equivalent of nunchucks be? Would it be like Klingon daggers? Phaser nunchucks? Like you're swinging them around and then you bzz, bzz. That would actually be kind of cool. Phaser nunchucks might work. I don't know. I'll have to see. But let me know what you guys think. Now we are doing a big giveaway right now. So we're doing a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. That's running until Halloween. So you have plenty of time to enter to win that. And you can put that towards a gaming expansion of your choice, or you can save it for when this thing comes out, and you can put it towards Star Trek Into the Unknown. So definitely enter to win that. You just have to enter to win. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. And I want to know let me know what your favorite episode of Star Trek is. It can be from any series. It can be classic Trek. It can be some of the newer Trek. What is your favorite episode? Let me know down in the comments section below. But I just want to run through all of this again. This is exciting stuff. These ships look really cool. Now they do have some kind of grooves in there. Now they have the grooves for the big firing arcs, and they have lines. So it looks like you've got firing arcs that players of Armada will be kind of familiar with. You got that front arc. You got like a front side, then kind of rear side, and then maybe just a rear. But we also have these grooves in here which look like maybe you could set tokens in there, like maybe round tokens to indicate like maybe shields or indicate damage or things like that. Or maybe even dice. Maybe dice would go in there. I'm not sure how they're going to keep track of all of that. But I really love that system. It looks really cool. I like the fact that it's black, so it'll look good on a black star field. It probably will photograph really well, which is an exciting thing to me too, because I love taking a lot of photos when I'm playing these games. I love that the Defiant is in here too. It's it's so cool. This is going to be one of those games that it just completely consumes me, I'm sure. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm just look at deluxe expansions, ships, scenarios, and characters too. So I'm really curious how the characters fit in also. How many characters can you put on a ship? Is there a limit? They cost points. If you load up one ship, if I put like, and it may be as simple as that, like maybe it's a 200-point game and a Galaxy class is 100 points, and then maybe other ships are like 50 and 50 or 60 and 40 or something like that. Maybe you've got a variety in there, but maybe characters cost points. Like maybe Worf is 10 points, And you're like, oh shoot, if I'm gonna load up all these characters on my Galaxy class, I might have to only run 2 ships. I can't afford to pay for a whole nother ship. Like maybe that's kind of how it's gonna work. Maybe there's no limit. You can fit a lot of characters on a ship. Maybe there's no limit. I don't know. I want to find all of these things out. Let me know some of your questions also. Join our Discord. We're gonna be talking about this and a lot more in our Discord as well. It's a way to keep the discussion going. We have a great links down in the video description below. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. So thank you for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.